I don't want to be emotionally unavailable, because sometimes emotion is the most important part.
Right.
Like, we could be barely making it on rent, barely making it in other areas, but like if you can't give emotionally, like there'll end up being voids that you have to.
Welcome back, family, to not the process this time, but the Mr.ThinkSmart Show. So I got my guy here, my homie from St. Louis.
Yes, sir. My God.
T.Moore, Timothy Moore, government. I had to put it out there, brother.
That's crazy, bro.
It's cool.
You had to go that deep.
I had to go that deep. But T.Moore family of TMooreMedia. Do you still go by TMooreMedia?
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I'm always the brand, bro. TMooreMedia for sure. It's still there.
I remember it was a time when you was like,
oh yeah, I was cutting that out because I was like, yeah, this ain't what I want to do. But I was just rushing, bro. I'm moving too fast.
But what we doing today, y'all? We doing a mukbang. Yes, that means we eating and we gonna just talk.
Yes, sir.
We gonna do it.
Hey, this is my favorite part of the day.
Listen, anyway. we ain't got too much. As you see,
I do. No, I had to load up.
I see he loaded up. Yeah. I didn't get too much because I ate early and I wasn't that hungry, but I was hungry. You know, I'm not trying to overeat. I'm not a big guy, but I'm a nice sized guy, and I can knock you out still.
See, I got some room. I got some room to grow still, so I can get it in.
Right. No doubt. So. Family, this is going to be a little bit different with the mukbang, but I will be interviewing Tim. We're just going to talk.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So, as we eat.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, man, I need some ketchup. Let me get some ketchup on my friend right here.
I ain't trying to be too sloppy with it.
Ooh, got it. All right.
Ketchup.
Little mukbang, man. So, Tim, man, let's talk, man. So, I'm not even going to get to why you in Dallas yet. Let's talk about the starting of Tmoore. See?
Yeah.
What family don't know is, I used to be Tim's director, housing director.
Yeah, straight up.
When he was in college.
Harris-Stowe State University.
Hey, the brand. We both graduates of Harris-Stowe State University. We both got our marketing degree from Harris-Stowe State University. Listen, if you're looking for a college and you're watching this, Harris-Stowe State University, plug. They need to pay me for that plug. Pay me for that plug. For real. Straight up. They need to pay for that plug. But anyway, we graduated from Harris-Stowe State University. I met him when he was a student, freshman year.
Yeah.
I was his dorm director.
Hey, don't try to dispense your dip is everything.
I'm already knowing. I ain't know it. Dang, that's
I'm like moving it around a little bit so I don't take it out too fast.
It look good too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, y'all good.
But check it out, y'all. I want Tim to kind of start his journey because I do know that his father was a photographer.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't take on his job and like, how people hand their sons the business. Yeah. You didn't do that.
Right.
You started your own.
Yeah.
And you shot through the roof.
Yeah. It was a blessing, man. Like, so, man, first and foremost, it's exciting, man, to be on your show.
Man, appreciate it, man.
That's love.
Hey,
I remember when Joe was like, man, I got this idea, and I'm gonna start this show, and I'm gonna just record. And I don't care, man. I just want to get it done. Like, I don't care about, I care about how I look, man, but I'm not gonna get hung up on how I look. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm a firm believer in people just executing their ideas. But I was like, Joe, I don't really know how you're gonna do this. Like, and Joe was like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm like, all right, cool. So, man, I commend you, bro. You doing your thing, bro. I appreciate you just kind of just following through. But yeah, man, like my journey is just so interesting because like my dad was a photographer, and he still is. Like he still shoots. My dad been 35 years old for the last 35 years. You know what I'm saying? So he doing his thing, but he's kind of slowed down a little bit. Right. So like back in the day, man, like when I'll say back in the day, like I'm like 40, 50 years old, but like when I was like maybe like 15 years old, man, like my dad really threw me in the mix of just like kind of teaching me the craft. And I had always had a camera in my hand. Like I got pictures when I was like a little kid, like 4 or 5 years old, like behind a tripod, like. And looking back on it, man, I think I was so much in the zone of wanting to do my own thing, like most millennials are. Like I want to do my own thing. I want to figure it out on my own. I want to pretty much take the hard route when I could take an easier route. Right. But like I decided to step out and do like my own business because like I didn't really want to shoot what my dad was shooting. He was doing more like family portraits and more traditional photography. And I didn't really want to step on his toes, but I knew I could learn from him because he was the master of that. Right. So for me, man, like I stepped out on faith and just like started my own business when I was in high school.
You killed fear.
Had to.
Killing fear.
And it was really cool, man, because like it was so many opportunities for me to shoot like people around me. Like, so I was doing like senior portraits. I was doing, just commercial type of shooting. I was shooting models. I was into the fashion stuff. And I really I dove off in it heavy, So I would say like 2010, I graduated high school. And I was like, you know what? I really don't know what's next. So like 2 weeks into the semester at Harris State University, man, like I leaped and I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go to school. Right. 2 weeks later, I was like, yeah, it's not for me. And like, I didn't know about withdrawing and all that. I left. I never went back. Like, right. I never knew. Yeah. That. So 2010, I came in again, 2 weeks into the semester. 2 weeks later, I was out. I'm like, yeah, this not. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I was like, no, I'm cool. Like, I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm gonna just do the entrepreneurship stuff because I've been making money. And in high school, I ain't had no bills, so like I thought like $1,000 was a lot of money. And it definitely not. I just dropped $1,000 today. Yeah, so it was like, yeah, this not gonna work. So I moved to Atlanta when I was 18. And I stayed with my brother, and with that $1,500 that I had in my pocket, because I had been working in like Foot Locker and doing stuff like that, I thought that was gonna be enough to live off on. No. So like 3 weeks later, I was right back in my mama's house in St. Louis. Wow. So I was like, dang. So you was in Atlanta for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks? I'm sorry. Yeah. He's like, and I was like, yeah, real quick. And I was like, I'm like, yeah, so I don't think I planned this out right. Right. So I moved back. I just started working. And I was like, man, like, I don't know what I'm doing, like, out of school right now. So I'm going to go back there and stuff. Because I had applied to go to Clark. Ah. And I got accepted to go to Clark. And then I was like, well, I'm going to apply for Morehouse. I saw the tuition, I just didn't apply. So I was like, yeah, I'm cool. So you were the second person over there. I was like, yeah, I'm cool, right? So got back to St. Louis, and again, man, like I hopped in the hair store, and I was like, I'm gonna go hard this time. Like I'm gonna finish it. So I hopped into school the fall of 2011, and then I just went hard. Like I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna knock this out, just so I have something to fall back on. And I needed some discipline in my life. Like I think, like not from like a, like not behaving well in society, but like I needed some discipline, like getting some stuff done, following through, executing, and getting things finished. So I went back to school and was like, yo, like I want to do this because like I feel like I gave up on myself because it was hard to me initially, and I already wasn't performing excellent in high school. So I'm like, yeah, this school ain't for me. But it's kind of funny because it's like a segue to like, when stuff get tough, like challenges come, like we quick to run, versus like facing them to really see what we're made of. Yeah. And I think that like Harris Stowe was excellent for me because like I had an opportunity to be at a smaller university, and learn a lot about myself. And in the opportunity, man, so many things came. Like I was blessed to become like Mr. Harris Stowe State University. Yeah, I remember that. I traveled with the institution, man, and like gained some partnerships, dude, that I could never even think about. So throughout the entire time, I was running my business. Yeah, I remember. Like that's the big part. Like throughout the entire time, I was running my business and I was figuring it out. So I mean, to anybody who's like pushing, like I just feel like sometimes like it's not gonna look like how you thought it would look. Right. Like, but now because of those those people, like I went to NASAP. I remember. And dude, when I went to NASAP, I met a guy by the name of Dr. Alex Ellis. That was 2015, bruh. That's been my mentor now for like the last 5 years. Wow. Right. Same thing happened to me. Like 4 or 5 years, and because of him, Disney is a client of mine. Like that type of stuff. Hold on, fam. Did y'all hear? Who was the client? Disney, bro. Disney is a client of his. Like, and because of that, like, you just realize like it's based on the relationships and the people you meet. And I say all the time, like life is about relationships, and that's it. So yeah, man, like that's been my trajectory to getting where I'm at now. You know what? Family, I hope you gave great ear to what he just said, because it's a lot more. Cause that was just scratching the surface. So as we eat, I'm gonna say something that's not funny, but when I was a director at the school, me and Tim used to always sit down and I used to take them under my wing and I used to talk to them all the time. Yeah, I never knew that would be my passion, what I'm doing now. Never knew. I was just being me. It was just easy to do. It was so natural too. So natural, exactly. So that's why having you on the show, working with you, even when we was in Atlanta, like it's been a mind blowing journey, but it's just the beginning. Yeah. So let's move forward to these recent years, right? So family, he is now a father. Absolutely. Father. Super excited about that. So, hey, he's a father now. That's big. I'm a big daddy. Yeah, exactly. Big daddy. And hey, those who know Tim,
And know him as Small Tim. He ain't Small Tim no more. I'm trying to tell you. The boy put some muscle on.
Hey, had to.
The boy put some muscle. He see how he eat?
100.
Hey, the boy put some muscle on. But let's talk about now how TMooreMedia has grown and developed over the years until let's go just recent the last 2 years. You've done a lot of projects. Like we're literally in the weekend of your first is his first official tour, right? That you're putting on. I've been blessed to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But this is your first. You stepped out on faith, like we always talk about killing fear.
Yeah.
To do it. So the challenges of being a father now. Yeah. And running a business that you started when you was a kid.
Real talk.
Real talk. You know, when you started as a kid, and now being a father doing it, and then now traveling more. You know, how do you deal with that with the family?
So speaking specifically to like the family aspect, like I've tried my best now to like incorporate them into how I move. Right, like I think, like for me, I was like, oh, now, man, like now that I have a family, like I'm not going to be able to do what I used to do, and that's true. In like every capacity, like you're not going to be this, like you're not going to be able to do everything that you were able to do because like you're gonna start understanding priorities. And I realized I was wasting a lot of time on guessing for stuff versus like really feeling like the passion behind it, and just putting forth the effort to make it happen. So like now, I would just say, man, like with being a father, like everything that I do is way more intentional. And then I look for the lessons in the struggle points because like nothing comes easy. And I realize like I look at my son. So like the way that my trajectory worked is like, you know, I have a chosen daughter, right? I was able to step into her life, you know, as her father, her role model, as a man, right? And then I have my birth son, like my blood son, and you know, to hear, I wasn't able to be a part of the birth of my daughter. And to be a part of the birthing process, right? Like it taught me a lot. And it taught me like so much about patience. It taught me so much about like not knowing what the end product will look like, how it will respond to you. And it's forced me now to consider every single step of the process and like not skip stuff. Right. Because before I had my son, like I found myself trying to force myself to get over certain obstacles quicker. And during the birthing process, like, there's no rushing it. Yeah. Like, you have to wait that 10 months. Yeah. Like, it's nothing that you can possibly do to force it to come in faster. And if it does, then it's, like, delayed. The development is delayed. Exactly. So, for me, like... It's good, delayed development. Yeah, man. So, for me now, like, being a father is really more so saying, like, hey, how can I make sure that I'm patient enough to not rush the process, right? And to make sure that like I get every single thing that's waiting for me in the midst of that journey, right? So like now when it comes to business, like I'm trying to think about like I love my dad, right? And me and him have a great relationship now, but like with so many traumas that happen in people's lives, like my dad was physically there. He was a great dad to me. Like, you know, we played catch, we threw the ball, he would take me to school, you know, did all of the stuff that a dad is supposed to do. But like he is emotionally unavailable in some areas. Got it. Right? And because of that, like that was the challenge to me when I had my son. I'm like, I don't want to be emotionally unavailable because sometimes emotion is the most important part. Right. Like we could be barely making it on rent, barely making it in other areas, but like if you can't give emotionally, like there'll end up being voids that you have to fix later on down the road. And I know you read a lot. Yeah. But they say like it's easier to prepare, you know, young men, right, than to prepare. Then I forget how the quote goes, but basically repairing broken men is way tougher than preparing them by the right way, you know, early in. Right. So for me now, it's just like everything I do is intentional, and how do I include my family in part of this, right? Like I flew here to Dallas on this trip, but like now I'm thinking strategically, like, well, maybe I can have my family actually come with me if I drive to these locations. And then I can maybe possibly employ somebody to actually drive for us so that we don't have to necessarily have that stress on us, right? So like, it's like, man, like I'm thinking differently on that. Possibly it'll actually save money, right? So just being more economically sound and more like financially smart.
And you know what? That's Thinking Smart, Mr. ThinkSmart. Self plug. But the thing about what you're doing, and you know, when you take a journey or a trip, the relationship grows. Yeah, it grows. Yeah, because you learn each other, and it's fun. It's memorable. Yeah. And what you said about the father thing, not just with fathers, but with mothers, with both sides of the sides of the mother and the father, the son and the daughter, it all goes back biblically Just keep it 100.
Yeah.
Train a child in the way they should go when they get older. They will not depart from it. So I really
that
feel
book, Joe.
Yeah, you know,
I'm that book.
You know, I can't get away from it because it's just mine because it was given to us. But I'm not a preacher though. But you know, I got a lot of that in me. But that's not me.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm a teacher. I am a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher. I'm a speaker. But brother, okay, so the family aspect, I love it. I love because you have a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have a plan, make it plain. That's the book too.
Mm-hmm.
Make a plan, write a plan, make it plain.
Yeah.
So back to now, we're in Dallas, Texas, right this second.
It's super hot here.
It is super hot.
It's super
hot.
hot.
It's super hot. It ain't no St. Louis heat. And we both born and raised St. Louis. It ain't no St. Louis heat. It's the South, baby. It's the South.
Choking.
Yeah, it's the South. But so you got this amazing event that you put on. You killed fear. You actually jumped out.
Yeah.
Leaped. Not just leaped. You jumped a huge because you had to leave your family at home.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. So Tim called me. He almost didn't do this event.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you know what, Joe? Bro, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not the time. But I was like, hey, sleep on it. Call me tomorrow. Let me know what you want to do. We're gonna roll with it. Whatever you want to do, we're gonna roll with it. You want to do it later? We're gonna do it later.
Yeah.
You want to do it now? We're gonna do it now. Let's roll with it.
That's the honest story. Like
That's a true story. That's an actual conversation.
Yeah.
So, but we here, and it's tomorrow. By the time the family event, y'all see this is gonna be done. Y'all will see posts. But hey, I'm gonna let you know right. I'm gonna speak prophetically.
Give it to me.
It's already success.
Hey.
When you see this, it's already successful.
Dallas be showing up when they come to buy tickets too.
Hey.
So I'm coming back for certain.
You hear that? That's what's
sure.
up. So listen, it's already success. What y'all seeing right now is before, but you probably gonna see this after.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the event, what engaged you and encouraged you to actually take that leap and actually host a branding event for business professionals? Those who, let me say it better, for those who want to start their own business, interested, think they want to start, because everybody think they want to start, till they start doing it.
Right.
They start doing it. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Right. Hopefully, don't nobody leave tomorrow like y'all don't want to do this.
right. I tell the truth. You think you want to start a business, until you start doing it. It take this. Take a heart.
Yeah.
That's it. But
that's a fact.
Let's talk about that. About actually stepping out and doing this branding event, and the people who are involved in it. That you have this speaking and teaching at this event.
Yeah. So something like, as y'all see, I probably ain't the best with quotes and stuff, right? But like I do know that Maya Angelou somewhere in this poem that she wrote said that you teach, as you learn, teach, right? And I think that like our community specifically, I've been blessed to work with different cultures, different races, and one thing that I noticed is that like all of them outside of, and let me not say outside, because I think we put like a bad stigma on ourselves as a culture. Like it's always like, well, black people don't do this, black people don't do that. No, we do. It's just not as amplified as other cultures and races. But I think that like with me having the skill set that I've been gifted with, right? Like I wanted to be able to like encourage our people, right? Now on my branding, it doesn't say this is only for black people, but like it's presented by us. So it's by us for us.
Exactly.
Right. So when you come, right. So when you come, it's going to be comfortable for you, right? It's going to be comfortable as in like you see yourself fitting in, but it's going to be uncomfortable for you because it'll challenge you in ways that you haven't thought about yet. So the reason I thought about doing it is because like I've had a lot of success in my life, right? And like even the word success is so like subjective. Like financially, I'm not a millionaire, but it's funny to me. Oh yeah. We absolutely will.
You looking at yeah.
Like we absolutely will be. Like that's sealed.
Yeah, sealed.
Right. But
multi.
Hey, shout out to Big Crit, multi.
Right.
I just think that it's super important, man, to like just give back to your community. Though,
yeah. 100%.
Right. And I think for me, like I've had so many opportunities, and like I'm 27. Right. Like I bump my head a lot. And some people will say, who watches that, say, oh, well, he's only 27, he hasn't really experienced a lot. like everybody's level of like experience is different, right? There are some people who are 20 years old who've been through way more than a 50-year-old, right? Yeah. But I don't think that it's age that really necessarily determines your wisdom. It's not. I think it's your experiences and how you handle them.
100%.
Like life is like, I feel like 90% about like how you respond to the situations, right? And the other 10% just happens to be those experiences. So for me, I was like, yo, I want to be able to give back to my community. But I also want to challenge myself, because it's funny that like when I could continue to do stuff in St. Louis, like I have a support group there, right? I say this humbly, like I have a fan base there, like people who support, like no matter what it is, like I'm going to come out. Yep. But it's something to me that like when you go to other cities, like you start seeing who really rock with you. Yeah. And unfortunately, it takes you leaving your city to honestly kind of determine and figure out what areas you need to grow in. So for me, so like I didn't want to get complacent in St. Louis and do this again, sell this event out, and then like I really did something. Like no, let me take this on the road. Like let me see like if this concept that I've created in St. Louis will work around the country, you know, and then around the world. Because if it doesn't, then that means that the model really isn't solid enough and that it needs some work.
Exactly.
Right. This entire process of planning this, like it happened quick. Like I'm not happy to say that I planned this thing in 2 weeks, but like it ain't been a full 14 days. You know what I'm saying? That I had to put together Brand Camp Dallas, right? But yet and still, we're gonna have 40 plus people in the building tomorrow. Right. Like. That's not by coincidence. Like it's because of hard work. It's because of the back end of it, and it's the part of saying like God showed me the vision. Like I'm gonna speak mine to you, but like I'm gonna need your help to make this thing work. Right. And I think that just being open and transparent and like not knowing that I don't have all the answers, like made me super comfortable with being like, you know what? If 2 people come and it's me and Joe, that's the 2. Then I'm cool. Like we're gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna be like Joe. Probably maybe Instagram was broke. I don't know. Like maybe what it was, but like I'm gonna do it. Right. Because like what happens is like we wait for the perfect moment, and it doesn't exist. Like you gotta make the time. You know what I'm saying? Like time is never perfect. You gotta make time perfect. Yep. And I think that we wait on the master plan when the master opportunity has already presented itself 10 times over, and it's like
you watch the train go by.
You watching it go by, and it's so crazy because I feel like. So many things like I feel like in life, if you feel like you keep dealing with the same issues, it's because you haven't learned your lesson in it yet. Like it might come in different forms, but at the root, it's the same problem. You know, so for some people that's communication, for some people that's trust. Like for some people, it's just like a matter of being like rushing too much. Like you gotta figure it out.
Boy, you speaking.
So like I'm telling you, bro, like that's genuinely how I feel. So like I feel like for me, I missed out on so many ideas, or I would see somebody do this idea I thought about. And I'd be like, dang, like, they must have been able to do this, or they were able to do this. Say it, bro. Like, why can't I do it? Like, and if it failed, cool, so what? But like, I would rather be able to tell somebody, oh, that's not going to work because of this, and be like, I don't know what would have happened.
Right. I was telling, it's funny you said it because I was telling my mom. I said, Mama, because she was a little bit against some things that I was doing, not illegally, but because the moves I'm gonna make. She's like, why you making so fast? Why don't you wait? Yeah. Because we talk a little bit religious. She's like, the old believer will say, well, they say they take the wait on God to an extreme to basically they waiting for nothing because that's their excuse. You feel what I'm saying? To do it, they wait. Then when they don't do it, they say, well, God didn't have it in the plan for me to do. That's a lie. You just didn't do it. Yeah. You had a major opportunity to do it. Yeah. But you just didn't step out on faith and do it. So
because faith without works is what?
Dead.
On me.
Dead. So, but I brought that point to say this. What you're doing is going against the grain. I called in the book coming soon. I had to put it on pause for a second because I had a lot more content that's coming because I've been doing a lot more reading, thinking, Mr. ThinkSmart doing my thing, self-plug again. But sometimes we be in a comfortable mess. People, because you be so comfortable, like I have a friend, like he's in a mess, right? But his significant other, she just won't. She's comfortable there. He's at the point to where he wants to be out. He's like, I'm no longer. I can be comfortable in it because I know how to live that way, but I don't want that no more. And the only way I can change it is I change the situation. Going back to the spiritual thing, people waiting on God. Well, God said go. You gotta step. You gotta take that first step.
Yeah.
If you never take that first step, you will never see the results of anything. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. The essence of, you always tell me, Joe, what's that? Just kill fear. Kill fear. Speak on kill fear. Killing fear is just that. You have to make that first step to say, okay, I can do this. I can walk. To take that second step.
Yeah.
To eventually start running, but you have to make that move first. And that's what I believe you're doing with this whole tour. Because I remember you talked about it, even though you planned it in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you thought about it about a year ago.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, that's real.
And you finally said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And that's what it is. So what I'm saying is, family, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you have to just take that first step. Like you said in the beginning, I told you what, I'm gonna start a show. I'm gonna give me a show.
You absolutely said that.
And I just stepped out on faith. I said, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I did it. Mm-hmm. And things are growing. It's moving. Yeah. Syndicated show coming soon. Syndicated show is coming soon.
I believe that. Say that. That's
it's coming soon. Radio and TV. I'm just saying, you know.
Mr.ThinkSmart Network. That's real.
Hey, it's coming. They try to hold down. I ain't gonna say good. They try to hold down. I'm gonna give you a station. The world tried to hold.
The world tried to hold you back. Don't they? They can't do that.
Can't do it, brother. Can't do it. They tried. But anyway, that was that's off camera, but we gonna talk about that. But y'all can't have that family on the show. But so when you all see this, Dallas gonna be done.
Yeah, Dallas will be done.
But I need you to tell the people where else you gonna be. The cities you gonna be there. If you can remember the dates, I know.
Yeah. I can't.
I'm already knowing. I knew that. I was
like, really like learning to like not be trying to remember some stuff.
Right.
Because it'd be like,
but we need the dates and locations because I know for a fact he's going to Atlanta. I know for a fact he's going to New York. Yeah. I know for a fact he's coming back. He's going back home to St. Louis.
Here we go, right here. Here we go, right here.
Here we go.
So this weekend, the 30th is Dallas, and then the 3rd of what is it? August. Right?
August, right? Yeah.
Is it 8/3? So 8/3 is Atlanta. 8/31 is Chicago, and then September 28th is New York, and then October is October 26th is Nashville,
Tennessee.
Yes, and then November 30th is St. Louis. But what's crazy is, and this is what I'm gonna say, man. Like when I talk about like the fact that like people wait for the master plan when the master opportunity is presenting itself. Like I still, like 2 weeks ago, I had confirmed that the Marcus Graham project, which is like I did this advertising internship back in 2016. They were looking for speakers to come and talk to the students, right? A part of the program. And this was the week that when I reached out, I gave them my pitch. And this was the weekend that they gave me. And I thought to myself, like, well, since I'm already gonna be in Dallas, I probably should like make the whole brand camp thing dope. It's kind of centered around that.
Set up, guys, set you
gonna be there.
Set you up.
And I was like, yo, that's a big opportunity. And I was like, well, that just makes sense to just do it there. Like I wasn't gonna start it no other time. Like I just need to go ahead and kick it off. Like if I kick it off bigger than St. Louis, it'll get a different type of attraction. Yeah. And I was like, that could be a really cool concept.
Coming home, when you finish the tour,
coming
home, it's gonna be
like big. To finish it at home is like super big to me because like I feel like the concept of just bringing things back to your roots is like super important. So
hey, hold on, shout out to the late great Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap.
Oh yeah, no, I should.
Because that's what this is.
Look, dog, that's so real.
That's what it is.
That's so real.
Yeah. When you come home,
when you see the tour get changed to Victory Lap Tour, like you gonna be like, it happened on the Mr.ThinkSmart Show. But yeah, like I just was like, yo, I gotta go back home and finish this thing, because like I just think that, bro, when people from St. Louis, I think it's any city, right? But I'm from St. Louis, so I can only talk to the 314. Yeah, we from the Louis, so we can only talk to the 314. But like, I think all cities suffer from it. But like, you don't really respect the people that's in your city. Like, not saying like that you're disrespectful to them, right? Huh?
Speak about it, right?
And look, I'm just saying,
respect his own home.
Come on,
somebody.
So you don't get the respect, you know what I'm saying, in the 314 till you leave, and then you go do something, and everybody like, yeah, he from the 314. That's my dog. Like, yeah, man, we went to school together. Like, you know, and it's like, but when I was in St. Louis, you wasn't really like, oh man, you know, I don't really.
It's love, but
yeah, like it's love, but like I'm cool on paying like, well, why I gotta pay that type of fee, or like, you know, we here, and so it's like. For me, I was like, you know what? Let me do this not only to like prove a point, but to make sure that like I show that there is an opportunity, right? Like I'm not starting in St. Louis where it's comfortable. Like I'm starting away from home, where it's super uncomfortable. Like I don't know nobody here other than you.
Yeah.
So when I talk tomorrow and I like present this opportunity for like helping people change their brand in their lives and help them like reveal the best of who they've been called to be, like that's gonna be to a group of folks that I don't know. And if each one of them follow me on social media, that's great. But like if the conversion of the relationship ain't nothing that's like major, or like it really doesn't help change lives, then I gotta reshape some stuff.
You know what you did, but you know what you're gonna do? I'm dang near giving a little piece of my presentation.
Come on, man. Look, it's okay.
You saw.
Cause they're not gonna see this until after.
Right.
So it's okay.
They might see me on another wing or two.
Can we like release something like special?
I can do that. I can do it. I can do a clip. I can do a clip.
Woo!
I can do a clip.
That's gonna be fire.
I can do a clip.
All right, cool.
Okay, but see, when I speak and I do my little, I'm finna give you a plug. You gonna use this when you speak too. You gonna use it. Watch.
And what I gotta say then, like, AKA Mr.ThinkSmart, like,
if you give me a plug, that'd be good.
Okay, cool.
So I no longer look at us and our group of the team. You know, you, Willie, me, and everybody else that's coming along with us. We're not taking the back seat. It's like with them, we're in the car.
Yeah.
It's like if it was a van, we're in the car, they're driving, right? So I was thinking one night, and I had just a great, amazing thought. And I heard this thought, and it said this: you're not just a speaker, Joe. You already don't call yourself a motivational speaker, you call yourself an empowerment speaker. He said, but you're really not that. He said, look into that field. This is my mind. This is the man upstairs. He said, in that field, what could you do in that field? I said, that'd be a good field for a pasture of, I could garden, flowers, whatever. It'd be beautiful. He said, yeah, exactly. He said, you're a farmer. You're gonna go around the country and you're gonna plant seeds. He said, now you might not be the one that always plants the seed, but you might sometimes be the one that water it. He said, remember what I said. I said, what did you say? He said, remember. I said, oh, I remember. He said, yeah, you got it? And this is what was said. He said, one plants, one waters, but God gives the increase. I said, I get it. He said, so what I'm telling you is, what you're doing right here, you're not just planting a seed in the city, but you're planting seeds in people. Now, if they choose to be watered, you have to, as individuals, we have to go to other conferences, we have to read, we have to study, we have to put in our own effort to what? Be watered. That's only if you want to grow. Because you can plant a seed in anything and it not grow unless you what? Water. But the only person who can get the increase and pull it out of the ground and pull that seed out and grow, while it's growing is who? The man upstairs.
Right.
But you're just a seed sower. So I tell people when I go speak sometimes, I say, you call me a motivational speaker, you call me empowerment speaker, you call me all this stuff, but I'm just your typical farmer. That's what you are. I'm just your typical farmer. Like I got a vision of stepping on the stage with a I did a picture and people didn't catch it and I said it and I did it right there in that field and it had the tumbleweed thing in there, right? And I had a piece of wasn't in my mouth because I was like, I'm a farmer. So I'm gonna start stepping on stages with a big farmer's hat, some overalls, some boots, and a shovel. They're like, what's wrong with him? They're gonna think I'm crazy. Yeah. No, I'm here because I'm a farmer. Yeah. That's my calling. Your calling is to be a farmer. All you do is plant seeds because you can't pull out the ground. You can't make nobody grow. You can't do nothing but plant seeds. That's all you can do.
Let me change my IG bio. Like dedicated farmer. That's all. My God. Like
I'm just saying, you're a dedicated farmer.
Yeah, no, that's real.
It's all the way real. Like I started thinking. He said, look, think about the people that you've studied and who you are becoming, and the people you put in your circle. Yeah, y'all are farmers. Yeah, you're not doing it for yourself. You said, okay, God, you give me the seed. That's the mind to do this, and the material, and the skill set, and the vision. And I'm gonna go plant them. Yeah. So more farmers can become, and things can grow, where it just can be. Because in the essence of life, it's all about the field. From the beginning of time, it's always been about keeping the field. It's always been about keeping the grounds. Adam was a groundskeeper. Yeah. That's real. He said, keep the land. You gotta protect the garden. So you out here making gardens, but you gotta protect it. Why we protect it? I protect it because I get back to the garden. And I'm saying how I get back to the earth. I don't just, drink water and try to eat right or whatever. that's really for me. But I put like, you know, when I have fruits and vegetables and stuff, when it's down to the seeds and stuff like that, I throw them in the pasture, feeding the ground, feeding the earth. Even like you peeling onions and you peeling stuff, you know, the hub of it. You know, if you put that in the ground, it's gonna turn it back into the ground. It's feeding the earth.
Right.
I feed the earth all the time. I've been doing it for the last year.
That's what's up.
And I was like, why did I do that? Because somebody asked me, my boy asked me, he's like, Joe, why you do that? I said, I'm feeding the earth.
This is good.
I said, I'm feeding.
Let me move this up.
He said, I'm done. He said, listen.
I'm good.
He said, I'm feeding the earth.
Right.
When I told him, I said, I'm feeding the earth. He said, I love that. Because he's a vegan. I've been a vegan. He's like, Joe, because when I studied, he said, now what you doing is all spiritual. And he said, a lot of people be tapping into the spirit because they want this energy, which ain't nothing but the spirit.
Yeah.
But they don't understand.
I wish more people understood that though.
They don't really understand it.
Yeah.
They try to tap into all of this old sage and stuff. Before you go to that stage, you gotta get inside right.
Yeah.
You can try to pull all the spirits you want in the world, but you're just gonna be a floating spirit if you don't get yourself right first. You're trying to depend on them to get you right. Focus on you first.
Yeah.
Then now, because I hate when people on social media, and I can change things to a whole nother.
It's all good. I mean, look, if the energy in the room take it there, then that's what we gonna find.
I guess so. So I hate when people on social media, and even when I hear people that be talking, they be like, don't send no bad energy my way. Don't send no. If you the bad energy, you putting it out there. That's why you receiving it. How you gonna put out bad energy but expect good energy? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Be the good energy that you want out. If you do that, now you good, because the whole essence of you reap what you sow or karma, it's all the same thing. Whatever you put out, it's coming back. It's coming back some way.
Yeah,
it might not come back that day. It might not come back for 10 years, but it's coming.
Yeah.
You can't defeat that.
Yeah, that's one of them skeletons.
Exactly, skeletons in the closet.
Skeletons in the closet, like it's gonna come out. Whatever's done in the dark come to life.
Exactly. The world calls it karma. The spiritual people call it I just said it. I can't even think of it. They call it reaping what you sow. But it actually is that. Like, and that goes back to the garden. Yeah. Because anything you plant in the atmosphere, the universe, it's got to grow and come back. Yeah. It's all about the garden.
But I think that the thing about like karma, energy, and all that is the fact that like people try to get away from having God in the conversation.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't say that I understand, but I can say like I see, right?
Yeah.
Like I see why, because like, you know, people have had a lot of bad experiences with like church and all that, and it's funny because like you can't let like one or a couple of experiences like distract you from your relationship with God. You cannot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I do think that like I have this conversation, you know, a lot when people are saying like, oh well, the energy and like the sage and all this, and it's like I see it, like I get it, but like if we had as much faith in like, you know, God and like our spirituality as much as we did in like these earthly things that were made that would have a certain scent, and we say do these things, like I think that we'd be so much better off, right?
I'm gonna give you something bigger. So everything that people doing when they sage and energy stuff, it's all biblical.
Yeah, it's super biblical.
It's all biblical.
That's super, yes.
And they be like, well, no, it ain't. Yes, it is. That's because you're not reading, you don't know. Yeah. It's all biblical, but you're doing it behind God's back almost. Saying, I'm gonna try to do it without you. Right. But he the one saying like, I'm the only one that can release it anyway. True. Because he's not gonna not release it. You his son is like, what your son want? Yeah. You gonna give it to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No matter what he's doing, and when he grows up, if he want to be, he could be whatever he want to be in the world. But he's still gonna be your son.
And it's funny because I didn't even say that when you were talking about family, because I was thinking about it like looking at my son introduced me to a better relationship with God. Yeah. Right? Because like when he would cry, right? Like I was right there. Like it wasn't too long I was gonna let you cry and like not try to figure out a way to fix it. Right? And there's so many things that like I look now at when he gets to a point where he, you know, can talk, right? And he has an attitude or an opinion. Like if he doesn't do right by me as his father, you know, he'll automatically feel that Holy Spirit within and be like, man, I'm asking Dad for this, and I can't even really uphold my end of the bargain. Right? What are you speaking about? And like that's how I feel now. Like you talk about, like, man, how important is family? Like it's important because like a family, like it's more than just like a husband and a wife. It's like, you know, the fruits of that. And I think that what's funny is like I'm gonna speak directly to it, right? Because like now it'll come up, right? I'm not married. right? So now it's put a challenge over my life to be like, man, what are you really doing? Like, have you not followed the order of God, right? And it's because of the fact that like I thought I could do it on my own. So when I started doing stuff on my own, I was like, God, I appreciate you in the good times, but when it's bad, that's when I'm gonna holler at you, right? And because I did that, like I moved so far ahead of God, thinking that like I was grown, right? But like I'm always been His son, so I got to put myself in like that child mode. And I think that the older we get, the more that we accomplish, like we lose that child mode, but we always have a Heavenly Father. And because of that, like if we can remember that, we'll allow ourselves to be able to say like, man, I messed up. Or like, man, you know, I moved a little bit too fast on that one. But like, I feel like I just said in the presentation the other day, like no matter what steps that you take that may not be forward, your greater steps are to come. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So like, I look at that like, dude, we talk about like fathers and like not necessarily fatherhood like on earth father, but like yo, even in my darkest time, like my father was looking down on me. He had me covered, right? Like my mom said all the time, she'd be like, I know you out there doing those speaking engagements and traveling and stuff, but just keep your hand in God's hand and you'll be all right. Always. Because like all the other stuff gonna be distracting. And I'd be like, Mama, I know, right? Okay, I get it. But
that's like we do with God.
But like you rush off that conversation when. But then it's funny, like you can be super patient when something goes wrong, and you like, Lord, like what happened? Like what did I do? Like, and it's like I've been trying to tell you what to do, but now that you like need me for real, because it don't look how you thought it was gonna look, now you want to ask me for help. Yeah, I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna keep also letting some stuff happen until you figure it out.
Because I have to, because now you can turn this thing into a lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you know, I definitely don't believe in losses. Like I believe in lessons. You know what I'm saying? And it's like. I think that because of that, you know what I'm saying, like that's kind of where I've come and where I'm at now. And it's funny you talk about farming because like 4 years ago, I really started researching the entire agriculture process.
I did too.
Right? And it's like, I personally have felt like when I sometimes like stray away, you know what I'm saying, from my foundation, like I look back at the process of agriculture, right? And it's like, you can't, like if I go into tomorrow at brand camp planting these seeds, like if they soil ain't fertile, like it ain't gonna really receive nothing that I plant, right? So like, that's why tomorrow when I go, like they'll probably see it, right? They may see this clip before, but like I plan on opening it up with like fertilizing the soil of these people who are in the room, versus going in like, yo, welcome to brand camp, like we about to really change your life. We can't change nothing if your ground ain't right. That's true. So like tomorrow when I go in there, like it's nothing but the agriculture process. And I feel like anything and everything that you do, whether it's fashion, whether it's, you know, just business development, you know, engineering, if you follow the agriculture process, you will receive your harvest. But if you skip a step in there, ain't nothing gonna grow, and if it do, it's not gonna be developed correctly, and it won't last long. It won't, because the bamboo tree goes down before it goes up. Exactly. And if that agriculture process is how life is supposed to be, then I will do everything in my power to follow it. And if I skip a step, I will go backward just to make sure that I cover what I messed up on.
I love it. I'm gonna give this last story.
Give it to me.
Then we're gonna get out of here.
Okay, cool.
You speaking on on agriculture. This is how it all happened. I'm gonna tell you the story how it happened. I'm gonna write about it. It's gonna be in actually my second book once I publish it, because it's a part of the second half of my journey. It was a night I was laying in the bed. I worked for Coca-Cola. Had to be up early. Had to be up at like 2 to be at work at 3 because I was a merchant. I wasn't a merchant. I was a merchandiser. So we had to be there early, set up the displays, make sure that everything's in the stores are good before the customers get there, right? So I'm laying there. Had a hard day, really didn't get no rest. You know what I'm saying? This is in the beginning of the journey. This is like almost 2.5, 3 years ago. So heard this same voice, right? Said, I want you to start studying agriculture. I instantly got mad, bro. I'm in the bed. I woke up, I said, agriculture. Right. I got mad. I said, God, I'm not trying to be no George Washington Carver. I don't know what you're doing, but you messing up. Like, I'm starting to question you. Even though I ain't never questioned you, I'm starting to question. He said, Joe, calm down. Let me tell you why. He said, now, everything in life is about planting seeds from people, places, and things. No matter what, you plant it in their minds, plant it in their bodies, because when you plant seeds in bodies, when you get a child, plant seeds out here, you get food, you grow. And then he said, it's all organic. And it comes from me. Understanding planting seeds comes from me. I said, wow. He said, if you study agriculture, you'll understand mankind better. I said, oh.
Hmm.
I said, I understand man. He said, you not only understand man, you'll understand how to deliver to man so that they'll grow, and you'll understand the growth process, because it's all a process and a journey. But people don't have patience. But whenever you plant something, there's a time. You got to water, you got to plant, you got to make sure you keep all the weeds out. You gotta cut. You gotta keep your garden, like we was always the whole essence of man. Keep your garden.
Yeah.
He said you need to study agriculture and what it means to what you're doing, because it plays a great role in what you're trying to do. How can you go across the country and plant seeds and you don't even know what you're doing? Because some people you're gonna be watering, some people you're gonna be planting. You need to know how to do both at the same time, but no, you can't get the increase. Just like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm in my bed. I'm like, God, you cold as a motherfucker. I'm like, you cold as a motherfucker.
Right.
I didn't understand. I'm like, bro, you really be talking to me like on some real stuff. I'm like, you really is cool as a mother. Like people are like scared of you in a negative way, but you ain't even like that. You ain't trying to like destroy us. You trying to really help us and get it there. And you was like, yeah, you messed up, but it's all good. We're gonna make that work. We're gonna make it. All right, do you gotta pay for it? You're not gonna pay for it like with death or nothing, because you ain't killed nobody. You ain't did nothing dirty to come back and you did. But you might, you know what I'm saying, you did spend that money where I told you to put it somewhere else, so you might have a hole in your pocket for a week.
Right.
You might look up like, dang, what happened to that money?
Yeah.
Dang, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I got you. But man, I'm gonna let you go, because you gotta get ready. I'm trying to finish this. We're gonna be talking all day.
On a clip like that, I was like, so what's next?
What's next is let's go into the world.
Absolutely.
Sowing these seeds. Then we're gonna do tomorrow.
That's real.
Forever.
Man,
and guess what? They gonna pay us for it.
He praise God.
They gonna pay us for
It's a pleasure, bro.
Definitely. So, family, always like, comment, and subscribe to not only the process, Mr. ThinkSmart Show. Hey, we got a lot of shows coming up. We doing our thing. I'm telling you, we coming with it on the ThinkSmart Network. This is not even a network yet. It's the channel. It's a channel on YouTube, but it's gonna be a network one day. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So, as always, I salute the divinity in you, and we will see you next time on the Mr. ThinkSmart Show.
Peace.
This feel like my chance. This feel like my moment. Everyone needs